What's going on YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video for you guys. Listen, before we get into the video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Also share and like the content and turn on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new content or go live. All right, so we're gonna hop right into this video. So the topic of today's reaction is women regret divorce but are hurt after ex-husbands move on. So we have a group of women who decided to get married, but they felt like the marriage no longer served them, or they felt like they could do better, or for whatever reason, these particular women decided to leave their husbands who they claim were good men. They're now mad about the fact that these men have moved on, that these men are not chasing them to get back with them, that these men are honoring their choices to leave and moving on with their lives. This is somehow affecting these women and they're mad about it. So I want to play a couple of clips on this, and I definitely want to get your thoughts. So make sure you chime in the comments below. I want to hear what you have to say. Let's get into the video. Here we go.
Why did I divorce my husband? I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here.
So why did you guys get a divorce?
Because I really wanted something different. It's very unfortunate because he was the most loving, kind person. I had all the love and support that I could have ever wanted. But I think I went through a period wanting money.
Healed and moved on and doesn't care about me. It still just sucks, you know? I'm honestly really sad right now, if you can tell.
Mrs. Rivera, I will say this to you. You're foolish. You had a good thing. As soon as it wasn't a perfect thing, it made you angry. Nobody's ever going to be perfect. You most certainly are not perfect. And the next guy you get is not going to be perfect. And unless you're willing to put up with a little bit of, you know, they say for better or for worse for a reason.
I would never, ever advise anybody to go through a divorce.
I would never tell a woman to walk through that.
I left my husband 5 months ago and I regret it. No, you're not supposed to say that. I know I'm supposed to be in my living my best life era, whatever, but like, no. These last 5 months have broken my spirit. They have been the hardest of my life.
So, you know, this is something that we often see. We see women promote if a man doesn't serve you, if he's not leveling up, if he's not meeting your expectations, you should leave him. Just leave him. The idea of working together and honoring your vows in a marriage, it seems to be a lost art. A lot of women don't believe that that is something that they have to do for one reason or another. A lot of women believe that, you know, they can do better without a man. And so we know single women promote this single woman nature because they don't have a man, and they tout the fact that they don't need one and that they're comfortable and much happier being single. But the women who are married are following this type of idea as well. They're starting to believe that they can do better than their husbands, that somehow their husbands who are in other circumstances would be good men, and even claim, as you heard in this clip, that these were the most loving men, supportive men, and all of this, but they felt like they needed money or they needed something more than what they were getting from their current husband. So they tend to walk away. And when they walk away, they have this notion or idea that somehow they're going to find their soulmate, that they're going to find this greater man, this man who is so much greater than what they've already had. And they're just going to have everything that they're looking for in this person. And when that doesn't happen, this is where you find these women crashing out and they regret their decisions. And then they're crying on social media because they realize that they've made a mistake. The real problem with all of this is that when the men make their decisions to move on after you have made your decision, then they have to make theirs. And a lot of times the men make their decisions to move on. They're not going to sit and sulk in your decision, even though most men don't want to break up their homes. They don't want to leave their children if children are involved. They don't want separate households. But this is the decision that a lot of women make. But then when they make it, they want the men to somehow run behind them and chase them down and try to win them back and do all of this stuff. That part of it just doesn't make any sense to me. And when you don't get that response from the man, now you're wondering, questioning whether he ever loved you. But shouldn't he be questioning you, because you are the one who ultimately decides to break up the home? You are the one who decided that this man doesn't serve you, and somehow it's beyond fixing, and that you need to walk away because you think that you can do better for whatever reason. And then when he decides, okay, this is her choice, I can't force her, I can't make her do anything that I want, I can't, I'm not in control of the situation. She made her choice, and now I'm going to make mine. They, for the life of me, do not understand that. They've been taught this idea and mindset of a man that, oh, if you walk away from him, he's gonna all of a sudden realize how great you are and what he's losing, and then he's gonna fight tooth and nail to get you back. That's not really how that plays out. This is some type of fairy tale delusional aspect of how women think men are going to respond. There are some men who fight for their marriage. There are some men who try to do things to get back in good graces with the woman and do better. But there are a lot of men who won't do that. When you make your decision, they realize, okay, you took it to this level, you took it to this extreme, then I'm gonna have to move on. I'm not gonna chase you down and run you down just for you to possibly constantly reject me and tell me no, that that it's over. It's almost like women want to have the upper hand, and when they don't have the upper hand in their own choices, they still have issues with it. This is why I say, if you don't really want to leave your marriage, if you really just in your feelings and you just, you feeling some type of way in the moment, do not go and make these irrational choices thinking that this man is going to chase you down to be with you, because when you do that, when you go and file that paperwork and you decide you don't want to be with him and you serve that to him, then you don't, first off, a lot of women don't realize how this affects that man. You don't realize what's going on in his head. It's very detrimental to a lot of these men who want their families and want to be there, but they process their feelings and emotions differently from the way we do. So he's not going to sit there and cry in your face. He's going to take in that, and he's going to have to go and rethink some things and think about his life and do all of that. And once these men have processed that and gone through that, 9 times out of 10, they're not coming back to you, because they don't want to be in a position to be humiliated and then have to go through this all over again. If they were to give you take you back and try harder, they don't want this looming idea of that whenever you get tired again, whenever you feel like he just can't level up or he's not doing enough, that she could turn around and do the same thing again. So most men don't want to have to relive that and go through that again. So they just walk away, pick themselves up, restart their lives, and typically they end up finding other women or wives and starting a whole nother family in most cases. And that's the part that a lot of these women can't understand. They can't fathom. They can't really, get a grip on the fact that he didn't chase you down after you told him what you wanted. You told him what you wanted and he moved on. He respected and honored what you said, and he didn't try to force the issue. This is what you want? Okay, I have no other choice. But then they're crying because usually these women are the ones who end up single, going from man to man to man, trying to find this perfect man that you never could really find. And then you end up in this perpetual state of singleness, wondering what happened and realizing that you can't find what you already had in a husband, that what you're looking for doesn't even measure up to what you had. And the thing about it is, I think a lot of women just don't realize what they had. You don't realize what you have until it's gone. And when it's gone by your own choice, then you're frustrated and mad because now you're out here stuck trying to figure out what to do next, and it's just not working out for you. And some women are very honest about this, but then some will lie about it and make it seem like they're so happy single. But a lot of times the women who make these choices, they're the ones who end up trying to get the husbands back. But then when they realize, oh, he's moved on, he's remarried, and I'm still single, it's a hard blow for a lot of these women to accept. This is why I say, please don't go out here and make these irrational decisions based on your feelings at the moment, because that's going to change. And if you have a problem with your husband and you have a good man there, work them out, figure out a way to work it out, as opposed to jumping and doing something based off of social media and what they're telling you should do. Because if you listen to social media, you will be single for the rest of your life, because a lot of these women, they move as if they want somebody that's perfect. And when I mean perfect, it's a man who's going to cater to their every need, do everything that they want, anything that they come up with, they expect you to do it and provide it with nothing with no expectations from them. You have to just be at this woman's beck and call. You have to be everything and more to her, because she believes that she's entitled to it, and that's what a man is supposed to do, without any reciprocation, without anything that you should be expected to give back. And that is a delusional, entitled mentality that I don't think anyone should be accepting. And so you got to understand, a relationship takes two. You guys have to work together to build something of your own. And it's not going to be all about you. It's about both of you. And so if you're not willing to do that, then maybe a relationship or marriage is not for you. But if you're already married, you got to understand that nobody is perfect. No relationship is perfect. You're going to have ups and downs. That's the reason why it says for better or for worse, till death do us part. All of those vows are there for a reason, because whoever created those vows understood that two people coming from two different worlds coming together to bridge that gap to create something other than what you've experienced individually is going to be work. It does not happen overnight. You have to be able to work together and understand each other and work through your differences in order to build something that is great for you and a potential family. That takes work. So, and it takes time and it takes work. It's not something that happens overnight. People don't just get it overnight, so it's a work in progress. So you got to understand that when you meet a person, male or female, that these people are flawed. They have issues stemming from their past, from other relationships, from their childhood, upbringing, parents, all of that. But if you meet somebody who has the majority of the standards that you're looking for in a relationship, and you both have to just work through those other kinks and issues, that's what it's all about. And if you think that you're perfect and you have no flaws, and a man should just take you as you are and treat you like this princess and give you the world without you ever doing anything to work on yourself and build yourself up so that you can understand each other, that you both come into the table with issues and you're going to love this person regardless of that, and not hold it against them, but work with them and you guys build each other up. If you can't do that, then a relationship or marriage or any of that is not going to be for you, because those are the very things that you should be doing when you're in a relationship, especially a marriage. That is what you're committed to each other. Once again, a lot of single people have this idea that a man should be perfect. Even married women are buying into this idea that a man should be perfect, and they're deciding that the man that they have married and committed to and made these vows to isn't good enough, and that they think that they can do better based on what they're hearing on social media. And when they go out into the real world with this mentality, they realize really quickly that this is not what they want. And you got to understand that it's never going to be the same. And you're thinking you're going to get so much better outside of what you had, and that the grass is so much greener, you're in for an upset. This is why I say, if you're married and you got a good man, y'all better work on it. If y'all got some issues, work on them, because baby, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get better. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Chime in. I want to hear your thoughts on this whole topic. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content. Let me know your thoughts on this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.